What's up, guys? It's Diego. This is my millionth time filming this intro, but I'm just gonna say fuck it, and whatever we get, we get. Anyway, if you're watching this video, there's a good chance that you saw my video on Instagram or TikTok. It was basically just a little 3-step guide on how to get over and recover from a breakup. Now, if you didn't watch that, don't matter, but I definitely want to talk more about that, specifically navigating a breakup. I guess just how to navigate it, because I feel like so many people are so lost and don't know what to do, don't know how to make themselves feel better. I was in that state as well, but I was able to navigate it through all the information that I had acquired from other people, from YouTube videos, from friends, from anywhere and everywhere. I'm sure you understand the feeling. Disregard my puppies in the background. But basically, I'm going to dive into that. But before I do, I want to share with you guys my experience. And I feel like this is very important because I definitely want you to feel that what I'm telling you is nothing but the truth. So I'm going to go into some detail here, basically on my breakup, which was last year. So let's do that. All right, so I was basically in a 2.5 year relationship, and it ended towards the beginning of last year, right, 2023. So for me specifically, I was deep in there. I mean, no pun intended, but I was really, like, I thought that was the one. Promise ring, my whole life, dog, my living situation. This is when I lived in California. So basically, my entire life was tangled with someone else's, which I'm sure can happen to a lot of people when you feel like you have the one, right? You want to make your life intertwined. But so basically, long story short, it didn't end up working out, right? I was actually cheated on. So, I don't really tell that many people. I doubt that my parents even know that. I have yet to tell them. If they watch this video, now you know. But yeah, so that hurt a lot for a very, 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 very long time. And I didn't know what to do for so long that, like, I'm sure a lot of people, you turn to the worst, right? You drink, you smoke, you do distractions, right? Your life turns into this entire mess. And I guess the only thing you seek is peace of mind, peace of your heart. So basically, when I ended up, obviously not continuing with that relationship. And so I moved from California to Texas. And in doing so, obviously I had to, abandon everything. Her apartment, dog. And I was still paying for it, which is funny, for like 2-3 months after, because, I was a very, very nice guy. We were split in half, and, I just, fuck it, I'll just dip and, have a good life, basically. So when I came back, I was pretty deep in the trenches. I didn't have that much money, especially because I was paying for something that I didn't even need. And California, of course, is very expensive. So I came back very broke and very broken. So it's funny how those things go together. But I came back. I immediately wanted to fill my mind with so many distractions. I just knew for a fact that I couldn't spend all day and night thinking about it. So I got a job, started, I'm a magician, for those of you guys that don't know. So, I went to one of the old restaurants that I used to work at before I moved to California, and I started doing some serving just to make some money, and I would, do magic on the weekends, going table to table. And, and I did that for a few months, but it definitely wasn't easy getting those first few months, because it was just a lot of me crying. It's there's no other way to put it. Like, yeah, it was just the dumps. And I watched YouTube videos. I talked to my friends. I try to, I even had a therapy session one time, which I found to be completely useless, in my opinion. It did not help me. It just wasted my time and my money. So I personally don't recommend it. But, of course, if you have no one else to turn to, maybe it's a good idea. So basically, I was dealing with it, and the way that I learned how to cope, because it was just such a heavy feeling on my heart. Like, I felt like I did something wrong. I felt guilty, which I'm sure is a very common emotion to feel. But it was just a lot of pain, to put it to very simple terms. And so from the moment that I started working on myself, as in like was actually more so like a month after I came back from Texas, because the first month I was a fucking potato. I didn't do anything. I didn't talk to anyone. I was just literally like hoodie, curtains, blocking the sun type shit. So it was very, dead. And I couldn't even look at another woman. Oh my God. But I will say though, the thing that really, really kept me up at night, which I find to be a common denominator for most people, intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts are something of hell because it's not the reality. It's just your thinking, your anxiety, your nervousness, and it's just all of your stress boiling together in your brain to cause these little images that just, her with another person, her doing shit. That's the kind of intrusive thoughts that I'm talking about. And I'm sure you can relate if you're going through it. So here's what I did. I tried to silence my mind the best that I could. And the way that I found to be very, very helpful is I started going on YouTube, looking at all these people telling me, giving advice and stuff. And there's a few things that I had to really understand. One is that if I don't put my thoughts and emotions on paper, it's just going to stay in here. So it's very, very important when you're going through something like that to journal. I can't say that I do it religiously anymore, but when you're going through something like that, it is very important to just take out a notebook, start writing down all the stuff that you feel, and you just it doesn't even matter what it is, like your dreams, your thoughts, your emotions, all of it, write it down. You don't even really have to look at it. Just in the morning, at night, write it down. It's very, very important that you do that. So you get everything out of your brain and your heart, you just put it on paper, and it doesn't weigh on you as much. Now, you also have to understand that if it didn't work with someone, that is nothing but a blessing. It's a very interesting light that you have to turn towards, because if you really were meant to be with someone, if this person was the one, then it would have worked out. In what situation is the one the person that leaves you? No, it doesn't exist. So if she's or he's the one, you would still be with them. That's how that works. So take that image of this gem that you had, right, and just throw it out the window, because it's not real, okay? It's just your withdrawals that make you feel that way. Now, it's also very, very, hang on, let me backtrack. It's also very common to just reminisce in all of the positive, amazing moments that you had with that person. You have to understand that is normal. It is literally like you are literally just withdrawing from a drug, okay? And if you've ever withdrawn from drugs, okay, I have indeed, then you understand that all you do is think about it, right? So it's very normal for you to just think of all the positive things that you had with someone, and you might even disregard completely all the shitty things about that person. Or maybe they weren't that shitty, and maybe it just didn't work out. In that case, you have to understand that. But if you're going through something similar that I went through, which was, of course, cheating, then you cannot blame yourself for someone else's behavior. That is the last thing that you should ever do, okay? And you also can't blame yourself for feeling guilty if there was nothing wrong, but you just weren't really feeling it anymore. It's totally fine. Like, you don't have to feel guilty for something like that, even though I know it's a lot easier said than done. It's just one of those things that can weigh on you. We're all humans. We all feel empathy. We all don't want to cause any pain to someone, but you departing from someone's life that you know is not your person is just a gift for them, okay? And it's also a gift for you. Their life isn't going to get worse if you don't want them in it. Their life will probably get better. Your life will probably get better, okay? The animosity, the fuck you, fuck my ex, like, at the end of the day, I don't have that. I just don't care for her. And I think once you get to that point, you've matured and you've outgrown the pain a little bit. So at first, it might end up being a little bit more animosity and it might be a little bit more aggressive. I get it, you know. I don't think it's entirely bad to tell yourself things or to act a certain way behind closed doors. I don't know what the fuck that was. Tell yourself certain things that are comforting, if it's purely to help you sleep at night. Like, I told myself things that I was going to go back and, you know, get with her again. And, you know, like, just, I know, very simpy, that's a different mindset, right? But sometimes it's okay to say things to yourself, write down things that are comforting. And eventually, with time, those comforting thoughts disappear. They really do. So it's okay, you know. There's nothing entirely wrong with it. But I definitely will say that if you're still in communication with that person, that needs to stop entirely. Like, you cannot be going to the same place. You cannot be texting back and forth. You cannot be watching stories. You cannot be any of that. Like, he or she has to completely disappear from the face of the earth in your eyes in order for you to actually move forward. This person does not exist. You are no longer with this person, so you could just erase that person from your mind. That's the only way that I've found myself to really move on, is if I just delete. It sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Erasing someone from your mind, going through that pain, is your initiation. Really, your initiation into becoming an adult. I don't really think you can be a wise, empathetic, and very noble, honorable adult, man or woman, if you haven't suffered to a certain extent. So it's not entirely bad that you're going through this pain, okay? It might feel like shit. I want you to be with your family and friends. I want you to go hang out. You can go and flirt with other people if you can. It's entirely up to you on how you would like to do it. But I do recommend filling your mind with your passions, your family, your friends, all of that. And it's okay to cry, all right? It's okay to cry. If you want to, I cried, it's fine. It's just a bunch of tears and emotion you have to express somehow, okay? So you can't put on this face of, I don't care, because deep down you do obviously care. And you should be able to just express yourself and cry. It's fine, you know, play some music, it's okay. At the end of the day, you will only become a better person from it. It does take time, though. That's something that not everybody likes. It is unavoidable. You cannot avoid the pain, okay, and how long it will take. It's not up to you. You can diminish it in certain ways if you really try to put positive energy into yourself. It can, not take as long, but you can't avoid it. So it's better to let it run through you than to hold it in. It's like a bottle. Why would you want to close the exit for the water? You just let it out. You'll feel better. You'll feel lighter. I said a lot in the span of, I don't know how many minutes, but it's all coming from the heart. It's all coming from my truth. And it feels great to have gone through what I went through, because now it gives me this power, this almost this purpose to help other people navigate that. It's honestly amazing. Like, if you've gone through something really, really bad and you know someone else that is going through it right now, you have the power to make their lives better. So if you're going through that pain or that hell, then I encourage you to embrace it, okay? Deal with it, okay? It's all part of life. Life is just this big old game, okay? Do what you have to do. Go through the time, work on yourself. And then when you're out of that hell, one, you're a more interesting person, you're a more helpful person, you're a wiser person, and you'll probably be a lot better looking person, okay? That means you should be working out. If you don't work out, definitely hit the gym hard. That is something that I can't believe I didn't talk about this entire time. Hit the fuck out of the gym, okay? I don't know, guys. That's definitely like most of what I wanted to talk about. Now, a little bit of one last thing I do want to say for those intrusive thoughts. I don't think I actually touched on that too well. I do want to say this is my personal opinion, okay? If you do have intrusive thoughts of a certain person with someone else, I just want you to know, one, that's normal, and two, you should lean on that. And that sounds a little controversial, but this is my personal experience. If I just accept the fact that this person is doing certain things, then it's almost like biting the bullet. The thing that you are trying to avoid the most, that is causing you the most amount of anxiety, just bite the bullet, accept it. If it's happening, it's happening. This person was never yours to begin with. And at the end of the day, if it is, just says more about that person than you. So, yeah. Anyway, very interesting YouTube video for this week. Let me know what other things, questions you guys would want me to touch on. But for the most part, that's all I wanted it to do. So if this helped you, if you got something from this, smash the like button, drop a little subscribe right there, and follow my Instagram. It's all down there. And I would love to hear your personal experience. If you do have any other questions, you just want to talk to me, then just DM me on IG. And I like talking to you guys. So anyway, I'll see you on the next one, guys.